Can I tell you a hot take on this?
No.
This
My friend?
Okay.
You can tell us a hot take. It has to start with a P, otherwise it doesn't count.
Pointless.
All right, we're recording.
Let me know when you start recording, Louie.
I did.
Well, let me tell you who's not buzzed. The incredible workers at Cardio. They are always on top of the game. Top level employees, top level company, mid-tier name. Let me tell you who does that, Louie.
The worst name for any company ever. The only worst name
How's
in that.
Captain's Market going?
The only worst name. That's fair. The only worst name for that is Arcade Rev Share.
That's a great name. You know what you do? You rev your arcades. That's a great name. It's what you do.
Let's go.
Whoa. Welcome to Me This Week with you, America's most rambly TCG podcast. I'm, of course, joined by Scott Stapp himself, Josh.
I don't know that.
Knows what that means.
I have no clue who that is.
Creed.
People know Creed singer?
Is that a thing?
What?
Who?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think I could tell you a Creed song. Never mind the Creed singer.
Can you take me higher?
Yeah, I can do that one because they did the Super Bowl thing where they flew through the air or in Dallas or whatever.
And I'm, of course, joined by this podcast's number one felon who will illegally drive his way to watch people in the pit of his rock concert because he's too scared to go in himself, Louie DeGeorge.
Wow. And we're joined by the number one FUD master, George, whose facts will not only be wrong, they will be insulting to everybody who listens to them.
That's true. That's not an insult. That's just accurate.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back.
No, I don't care about that.
To the podcast.
Can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
When you were watching the people in the pit, like, did you feel good about that, or like, how did you feel about watching the people who were actually enjoying the concert?
I got made fun of on this podcast for spending so much money on tickets. I couldn't spend more money on pit tickets.
There's no way the pit was more expensive, and you were already there.
100%.
How could you have not been in the pit?
You need a ticket to get into the pit.
I got one for Stained.
Yeah, Stained is probably like $13. I went to Blink-182 this weekend.
$250.
I went to Blink-182 this weekend. It was an awful concert. It was absolutely atrocious. Tom was sick. He was literally in the middle of songs. He was in the middle of songs blowing his nose, like on the ground blowing his nose. He wasn't like in the microphone, but well,
that's good. That's an improvement.
I felt like bad for him. Like I was like, can we just end this so this poor guy can go home and get some rest? Like, we're all adults here. Can we just let the guy who's sick not work today? Like, what's the big deal?
So hold on. So you definitely are about to get COVID again, right? Like, that's 100% about to happen.
Whatever's going around. Whatever's going
COVID, so it's okay.
Yeah, whatever's going around in this country, and everyone I know has been sick. We had that at the beginning of the summer. We had that awful thing that lasted forever.
It was a super spreader.
I gave it to everybody. You're welcome, America.
You gave it to everybody, and then still didn't shut down the economy, so our stonks didn't pump. So you really nailed that one, Louie. I appreciate that.
You go. Yeah, good for me.
You nailed that sweet middle spot.
Yeah, pump my TCG bags, dude.
All right, everyone. Today we are talking about lots of stuff, mostly Magic. We are talking about the D&D secret lair. We're going to talk about cheap land, cheap real estate. We're going to talk about Mystery Booster 2 because I wanted to talk about it again. We're going to go through some of the Sorcery spoiler season stuff, and then Josh and I want to bash Star Wars for like 10 minutes, mostly because we don't have that many topics to talk about this week. And we're going to wrap it up with PEEPEES. We'll let you know what that is when we get there. And then George has some Shropshire sauce, which I'm sure will be exhilarating.
Google in the podcast.
I might have a better Shropshire sauce for y'all.
Do you want me to defer? I can defer to you this week.
No, we'll see how the podcast goes. We'll see how much other stuff gets brought up on the podcast. We'll see how well George behaves.
Can I give you a hint?
Your intro wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
The problem is there's so much to mock you for this week. It's hard to get it all in one.
You're really phoning it in.
You're a felon. You didn't really go to a rock concert. You watched other people go to a rock concert.
I didn't drive to the Blink-182 concert.
That doesn't change anything.
My wife wouldn't let me.
Why wouldn't she let you?
Because you're
a felon.
Because I have a suspended license.
Yeah.
Josh, did you know this?
Now, I didn't update my tags on my plates after I moved back to Illinois from Arizona for 5 years. And that's
pretty
somehow
good.
the second worst driving infraction on this podcast.
Yeah. I also didn't know I had a suspended license for the last 18 months.
Can I ask you a question? Did they send you like a certified letter to warn you or anything like that?
They did send me a certified letter to warn me, and somebody at my house signed for it.
So it's somebody else's fault. That
I'm going to choose to believe the best in my wife and the worst in our government and say that the government is lying to me about the...
I'm going to choose to believe that your wife saw an opportunity to put you away for a while and get a little break.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
So
I was
Josh-
usually taking
Josh,
talking
you-
about back in the government, but
Josh-
that follows.
You and the audience don't know, but I got pulled over for not stopping at a stop sign, which,
Right.
first of all,
It's
The one-
only human life.
first of all,
It's only human life.
let's get something straight.
I spend hours every week talking about TCGs. It's only human life. It's fine.
Let's get something straight. The stop signs that have the white around them are optional. Those are optional stop signs. Also, it was a stop sign in a parking lot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't exist.
Hold on, wait. Hold on.
For a stop
Yes.
sign in
Hold
a
on. I
parking
kind of
lot?
agree with Louis now.
Yes.
Crap.
Yes.
I kind of agree with Louis now.
Secondly, this mother effer pulled over a sign. I paid my ticket today. The lady told me that dude pulled over 20 people yesterday at the same stop sign.
Pulled over at a stop sign in a parking lot.
Yeah.
That dude definitely has an indie TCG that you pumped and dumped.
Yeah.
That dude
100%.
100% is America's #1 Legion collector.
Yeah, that guy wants you to know that the market in Japan is massive and you just don't understand it.
So then
That
he goes,
dude definitely owns some TCGs you destroyed.
So then Josh, I'm like trying to leave West Virginia to get to the concert, right? I'm trying to go to the shop to handle this one stupid thing real quick. That's why I didn't stop at the stop sign. So he's in his car for way too long. Like, I've been pulled over before. You're either gonna,
There's a shocker.
you're
Everybody
either
gets that
going,
from you.
I haven't gotten a ticket.
Wait,
in like
hold
10
on. You've
years.
never been pulled over, George?
Once.
Okay.
I'm
so
pretty sure George got pulled over on the phone with me once, but we'll not go there.
I don't think that's true.
I think you got a warning. I've gotten lots of warnings. You know that something's wrong when the cop's in the car for that long. I was like, what is happening? Like, it's like 30 minutes. He comes back out and he's like, did you know that you're driving on a suspended license? I was like,
I'm also drunk.
that's news to me. I said, I don't know.
which one of you do you want me to answer?
Then he goes, your license was suspended on July 5th of 2023. I said, that's a year and a half ago. I said,
Nailed it.
dude, my license was issued on July 15th of 2023. I showed him the issue date. Anyway, there was like some sort of insurance issue. Like, I had insurance, but the DMV fat fingered a button, and like, it's all taken care of now.
That sounds likely.
And tell us about watching the rock concert from your cheap seats.
Dude, we had the best seats in the house. Were
Were you worried that your 32-year-old knees were going to hurt in the pit? Were that what you worried about? You're like, oh,
First of all-
my 32-year-old knees. Oh, my God.
First of all, had I not been there with my wife, I would have been in the pit.
I
would have been in the pit even
I had
without
somebody
pit tickets.
older than me go with me to the pit like 3 months ago.
My wife is not a pit person.
But also not mine
Yeah.
is not either. Louis,
She's like,
however,
I am
definite pit person.
100%
Jordan is
pit person.
Indiana.
Nobody believes that.
100%.
Oh,
pit
100%
person.
is.
Yes.
Louis, down to dance the night away, buddy.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, it was a blast. It was good. We had a lot of fun. I felt really bad for Tom the entire night, though. Like, I felt like I really was like, man, we're all
Did you
adults
write him
here.
fan mail? You should
No,
write him fan
but
mail.
like, and I was also like a little bit like, he kept trying to sing. I was like, dude, just stop. They actually brought a girl up on stage to sing a song, and then she had no clue what the lyrics were. She like started singing the wrong song. It was awful. It was such a terrible concert.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
gonna
like,
lie.
it's no Tay-Tay concert, that's for sure. Doesn't miss, baby.
Yeah. But it was good. I was glad I went. Yeah. All right, D&D Secret Lair. We're 10 minutes in. You guys want to talk about TCGs now? You guys want to keep rambling?
I want to keep mocking you for your choice of ticket if it helps any.
That's such a bad. My tickets were like, I was like 10 rows behind the pit in the middle.
You
Yeah,
had to be in the pit.
I
I
mean,
was,
Blink
my
182 was in the box.
41-year-old body was in the pit with Crocs on.
You either go in the pit or you go to the box. Those are your two options at this age.
Go to the pit.
We had amazing floor seats. You're both just wrong.
You gotta go to the pit.
Yeah.
The Blink-182 pit is like basically the same as the floor seats. It's a bunch of 40-year-olds standing up and
and get in there and assert dominance.
like,
So yes, take them a lesson.
there was one person crowd surfing. I'm pretty sure they fell.
So Everclear is coming near me on Friday, and I made the horrific mistake of looking it up. Dude is 62 years old.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I can see this.
We looked at it from Blink-182.
I'm not sure I can. I'm not sure I want to see this 62-year-old try to belt out. Now I will say this: he gets it. He's like, "Don't worry, I only play my good songs, not the new songs."
Yeah, Blink did that too. They played. I mean, they played some of their new stuff, but it was mostly the hits.
Nobody wants to hear anything new.
Also hits.
Their
No.
new album is
No hits.
so good.
They've had no hits the last 10
Their
years.
new stuff also hits. Old stuff
No.
hits.
There's
new
no
stuff hits.
hit from the last
All
10
around
years.
hits.
There's no hit. There's no top charting thing because the only top charting is like
Yeah. They
Booty Wop.
grade against themselves, and they grade
Is that what it
wildly favorably.
Is that what it is? Booty Wop? What is that? No.
I don't think that's what. I'll be honest. I don't think that's what you're thinking of, but I'm here for it.
If that's not either A, your most recent Google search, or B, the name of the secret layer, this is a failure.
All right.
I would put
D&D
the Booty Wop secret layer. I think that'd be dope.
And one of these days, I'm sure we'll have it.
There's a history about you that says you'd be all about the Booty Wop secret layer.
All right. So we have the next secret layer after the Monty Python secret layer. So we had fake D&D last week. And this week or this month, we have real D&D with the D&D secret layer. This is going to be the fastest selling secret layer of all time.
Wait, faster than Monty Python?
Yeah, this will sell way faster than Monty Python.
All right.
You
So
disagree?
I disagree
Why?
because I think they're going to print more.
That's fair.
I think they're just going to print more of it. They own the IP. It behooves them to spread this, right? To make this super popular and reach far and wide.
Oh, I agree with you. I don't agree with the reason that they own the IP.
You don't agree that they own
I
the
don't
IP?
think I don't think the ownership of the IP allows them to print more.
I don't think it allows them to print more. I think it just gives them a reason to.
Can I ask you all a dumb question?
No. Always.
No.
When did D&D get so big? Like I was at the post office today.
It's called oh, you saw the post office stamps?
Yeah, I sent you all a picture.
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
saw
Josh saw it because you don't read our text message chain, Louis. I
I
understand
saw it.
this.
Well, I had to ask you the same question twice to get you to respond to me. So
Me?
yeah, you might not get your Disney pin now. I'm salty.
Oh no.
You guys
Um,
are like high school girlfriends with that group chat, by the way.
And that we expect you to read the text messages. That's the way we're high school girls.
I don't know, man. I barely like
You know what? I'm actually happy that you don't have an understanding of how high school girls work. So
It follows.
this is good.
Like
my
who's
high
buying-
school girlfriend when I was in high school. Let
Who's
me
buying
clarify,
D&D
All right,
everybody.
stamps?
Matthew
Like-
McConaughey, calm down.
like why there's so many like D&D, like the D&D stamp thing caught me off guard. Didn't I catch you all off guard? That seems wild to
So
me.
they were at catch this. They were at Gen Con. No, was it? Yeah, it was Gen Con signing stamps. They had the
Yeah.
artists of those stamps signing those stamps. The the United Postal Service had a whole booth.
You know
there.
what? I'm about
Wait,
that.
what?
I think that's awesome.
Is
Who
that
told me
true?
that? Yeah, somebody told me that like the other day.
Is that true? I didn't
What we
see
should
that.
do,
booth.
we
I
should
would've
get them to
gone
sign
I
the
would've gone
stamp
to
that's
the
signed as an
USPS
artist
booth.
proof and sell for $1 million. I want that AP.
She had to just get in there.
God.
What? Josh has an artist piece. I don't like. What's the problem? I think it's great.
You
It
are
says
the problem. The problem is you. You
like
are
Tay-Tay.
the problem. Anyway, D&D got really big, like really, really big with Stranger Things. That was I think that was
Is that true? Was it featured in Stranger Things?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kids play. That's like all of D&D. So all of
Spoiler alert.
all of Stranger Things mirrors their D&D campaign. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's like a whole.
But I like Stranger Things.
Yeah, you would love Stranger Things. Yeah. I'll tell you what, you watch Stranger Things and Josh and I will watch Lost, and that will be the podcast.
No, we won't. I'm not watching Lost.
Come on.
No.
Yeah,
Wait,
come
you
on.
want me to invest how many hours of my life into something that I know the ending is crappy because it's what everyone complains about?
It's
I'm not
aliens.
doing that.
What if we should live stream us watching Lost?
I'll
I'd
just
be in.
complain about the ending the whole time.
Back to D&D. Is this
Which is
the
big because of Stranger Things.
Stranger Things? Yeah.
Well, it is. It's. I mean, it's
That's
further
wild.
reaching too, right?
Oh my
Like-
God, Tom got him sick.
Oh God.
Tom! Gary!
COVID part 3.
What? So
What was the
where
other
were
one?
we
What
on
was
this?
the dog disease that you had?
Parvo! Shout out to Parvo!
Forgot about that.
Parvo. I remember that.
What
God.
a day. There's been a lot of posts online recently bringing up blasts from the past from that era of content. Why is none of them about Parvo?
Yeah, of all the things the internet could make fun of me for, that one they left out.
Yeah, they never hit the right thing.
Ice Nine still made the best meme ever about that. That was the
Yeah,
best.
that was pretty
The
good.
best.
I wasn't even on the podcast then. I remember the meme.
God,
It was good.
Can you imagine if I actually got salty about like what people said about that on the internet?
Now, you've been salty with me before
About what?
when I insult you personally.
When have you ever
You
insulted
have
me?
never been talking to me and insult you personally, but if I don't say that Simon and Sorcery can walk on water, you act like I spit in your face.
I rarely get offended.
Only about Sorcery and Pokemon.
I get offended when
Then
you
it's
act,
universal.
when you guys
Me.
act like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hold on,
I'm
hold on,
okay
hold on.
with
Wait a minute.
you.
Hold on, hold on.
I-
What?
What?
I'm okay with you criticizing
like-
my take. I'm not okay with you criticizing my ability to have a take.
This is
what
wild.
therapy. This is turning into
Where's
therapy. Right
Carol? Where's Carol?
now. I thought it was Carolyn.
No, your therapist is Carol, right?
Yeah. oh,
Wow,
yeah.
it must have really worked.
That's her name.
Must have done great.
All right. So this secret layer, it's got the D&D art. And it's like all what? Don't be there's a monster manual that's the monster manual. Like this is perfect. Why don't you think it's gonna sell out fast?
I think it's going to sell. I just think they're going to print more of it. I think it's sell it fast, but I don't think it's going to be as fast as Monty Python.
I don't think they can print more. They already printed it, right? There's no way
Well,
there's no way between Monty Python and now they could have printed more of this.
no, but I don't know. When does it come out? When's the release? When's the drop?
August 29th.
Yeah,
August
they probably already printed it. I
August
think they just printed more. It's a gut feeling. Listen, I got a big
I'm
gut.
sure
It's got a
they
lot of
printed
feelings.
August 27th. I'm sure they printed more of this than Monty Python.
And I think that's what's going to make it sell out. Not as fast.
But I don't think the demand of Monty Python warranted them to print more of them. Also, there's 5 of these. There's 5 different secret layers. We only have the art currently on Wednesday when we're recording of one of them, and then we have one image of one art from the other one.
You know what's funny? They did a whole set that, like, I think encapsulated D&D, the theme, the art really well, and it just absolutely failed. And we all think this is going to succeed.
Oh, I don't think that set failed. I think the price of that set failed, but people still love that set. I still sell a ton since distro has changed the price of that set, and you can get it now for a little bit below what the market price is. Like people love that set at $200 for a collector box.
That's
What's
fair. It probably failed as
Baldur's Gate.
a set to sell in stores.
Oh,
I
the
thought it was a lot
first
of
set
fun.
was also pretty bad too, though.
Which one?
There's 2 because there's Baldur's Gate and there was D&D.
That's what I'm talking about. Adventures of the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah,
I wasn't talking Baldur's Gate. I was talking Adventures of the Forgotten Realms.
gotcha. Adventures was, I mean, like again, people
The Monster Manual lands. Do you remember those? Those were
People-
awesome.
love like some people either hate or love that set. It's weird. There's a guy in my
thought that
store,
set did
Malachi.
great.
Malachi is obsessed with that set. But
Good. He gets it.
yeah. So wait, you're saying they shouldn't do a secret layer because they've already done full releases?
No, that's not what I said. I just said it's hilarious that like we all look at that set as this massive failure, right? As far as Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, and we all agree this secret layer is going to sell out like crazy.
Yeah.
It's just it's funny kind of how that works, right?
Yeah. I don't think I agree that it's I think at the time it was a massive failure, but it's gained a lot of admiration I think the set has. But value-wise, certainly
maybe, but like people, you couldn't give these things away. These were one of the boxes where the collector box was $100.
Yeah, it's probably still around 100.
Like, so it wasn't like the most popular thing in the world.
It's fair. That's when they were printing so many of them.
That's probably what
those commander decks are pumping. Those are some expensive commander decks.
The dungeon module lands were sweet.
Yeah, collector boxes are $150 right now.
They get it. Magic gets it.
Trying to look up. Yeah, there was a couple of the commander decks are pretty expensive, $100 each. Draconic Rage and Planar Portal.
God, that had what? Hall of the Storm Giants, Den of the Bugbear. Good cards.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's gonna be really good. I think this is gonna be another one of those secret layers that's gonna sell it really quickly, and the community is gonna be upset about it. That's a home run slam dunk. It's gonna sell quick, and people are gonna be mad. Nailed it. Yeah. I mean, I think that's right. I'm going to set an alarm this time because I missed out on the Monty Python.
Wow, you're going alarm, huh?
I'm going alarm with this one. I think the Faithless Looting that has the old handbook on it. I think. Yeah,
it's just banned in everything. I thought it looked sweet. It's just banned in everything.
I don't think it's banned in Commander.
Yeah, it's banned in everything that matters.
I mean, it's a bad card in Commander too. But
wait, really?
I mean,
Commander's wild.
To draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, I guess it's not a bad card, but
yeah, man, that's awesome.
Better things you can do. All right, let's move on. Let's go cheap lands. So I saw a post. I'm just stealing this from Reddit right now for the record.
Let's go. This is called content, baby.
Yeah.
Can.
Somebody made a post that was basically like, this is the cheapest that Magic's mana base has ever been. So outside of reserve list original duels, the most expensive land, kind of competitive land is Scalding Tarn, and it's only $24. Only 7 non-reserve list duels are over $16, and it's the Enemy Fetches, Sunken Ruins, and Sacred Foundry. Is this a win or is this a loss for Magic the Gathering?
Is lands being cheap a win or a loss?
Yeah.
This is a win, right?
I'm asking you.
It's very clearly a win. It's format accessibility.
I'm asking you, Joshua.
Yeah. It's very clearly a win. It's format accessibility, but these things aren't free. These aren't dollar lands either, right? Like there are lands in there that hold the $20 price point, which I think is totally healthy.
All of the ping lands are under $1.
Well, yes, but pain lands have more or less been power crept out of the meta.
Have they?
Like you have fast lands and slow lands depending on your curve now that you're throwing in instead of pain lands.
Gotcha.
Like there's so many ways to produce 2 colors of mana without hurting yourself every turn. Like,
I think it's a big win. I think it's a big win. I think it's a big win. If anything, I think they could go down even further. Like, listen, like these are.
Well, that's going to be my next question.
I mean, there's cards that people need. Like,
the next question is: should they put fetch lands in commander decks?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Why, Josh?
Because upgrading your commander deck to include a couple fetch lands is not an unreasonable ask, and it also helps you start building collections, going out and buying singles, helping you to like modify these things. That fetch land that you bought is now going to be used in many different commander decks you built, and you had to go out. There's like effort required to go get it. When you have to put effort into something, you're going to care about it more. You're going to want it more.
That has not been true in this podcast.
Well, that's because you don't put effort into anything. You should try it. It's crazy.
I would never.
So I like the ability to upgrade the mana base. And also upgrading a mana base is like when you start to get into complexity of deck building, right? It's not just, I see this new card, I like it, I'm going to put it in the 99. Modifying the mana base takes like a little bit of thought. It's kind of that next level. I like that.
So why do you want accessibility for modern, but you don't want accessibility for commander?
Wait, what accessibility is not around for modern? What?
So like if you have the fetch lands already, you're saying that the commander player should have to go through and update their deck.
Well, that's part of the fun of buying a precon, right?
I feel like precons have gotten so expensive now. Why do they not have Good card. The Sliver deck that came out with Commander Masters was a perfect example. The mana base was atrocious. Everybody complained about it. It was awful. Every single land entered tapped. It was slow. It was ugly. It was not fun. And it was also $100. And it's like, it's expensive.
Yeah.
I think if we are saying, and like I struggle with this, I struggle with the idea that everything should be cheap because then it's accessible. Because I think that Magic doesn't do enough to get if that would be a win for me if they were doing something to promote and encourage people to play Modern and to play the different formats. But I don't feel like they are putting enough into that tank. It seems like they just want you playing Commander. They just want you doing like.
I don't think that's fair. I mean, people just want to play Commander.
I also disagree with that completely.
Okay, what are they doing to make you want to play Modern?
The brand new promos that they just released for like RCQ events and your store championship events are a major hit. Like with both Commander players and regular players. Like these things.
The Urza Saga.
Yeah, and as far as they're printing Modern Horizons 3, so they're printing sets directly into Modern to constantly change the metagame. If you had never played Modern and you bought a box of Modern Horizons 3, you're closer to a Modern deck than ever. It's taken over, I think it's like 21% of the format. You no longer have to go search for old cards. You can go to your LGS, buy the box that's on the shelf, and play a format that's eternal. They also just modified Standard so your cards go longer. So you're rewarded now for buying a deck and keeping the cards. They clearly want you playing other formats. They don't necessarily not want you playing Commander.
I think that's true. I think the problem is people just want to play Commander. Like that. Like this is where it's not a WotC problem. It's a consumer problem. Like consumers just want Commander. Like you can't make people care about formats they don't care about. You can't make Josh care about Commander. Can't do it. He doesn't like it. Like the problem is like the consumer wants what the consumer wants.
Yeah,
and candidly, like good for WotC for appreciating that and giving the consumer what they want. Like we've seen a lot of games try to force people into competitiveness or anti-competitive or this format or that format. And people are like, I don't want this, I want the other thing, and they try to force. Like WotC, to their credit, has basically said like, I will give you what you want. You want Commander, I'm gonna give you a bunch of Commander stuff. And that's good.
Yeah. I guess I feel like Modern has taken it feels more like what Standard used to feel like with the printing, like twice a year now they have direct print to Modern sets, like at least twice a year now that dodge the Standard thing. It feels like Modern is the new Standard, and then that feels like Standard is, I'm not sure what it is anymore. And that's why I don't feel like there's a whole lot of confidence in those. Like, I don't know anyone who runs Standard around here, or like in Modern is
right, but Standard is not popular, and you don't live in a populous area.
Right.
Like every game store around with a saving 1 or 2 has a weekly Standard that fires with a minimum 8, most often 12. Every game store in the Chicagoland area, but that's just a difference of area, right? There's just tons of Magic players here because there's a massive density of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 game stores that still fire weekly Pioneer events with more than 10.
But I would say it's like, I think any format but Commander looks a lot like an indie TCG. It will work well in populated areas and guys everywhere else.
Well, or if you have someone who's championing it. I guess my point is we have cheaper land now, and I don't hear from people, you know what I'm excited to do is build a Modern deck because lands are cheaper. Like
you can't make people care about a different format if they don't care about it.
Well,
the price isn't the problem.
That was a problem that people complained about that weren't going to play Modern. The benefit for Modern was...
I remember very, very vividly of a lot of people in
who would have never stuck around and been long-term Modern players.
I remember very vividly people being like, I can't afford to play Modern because the land base is $500 for a deck. Now you can get that same land base for $75. It costs you $75. You've got that land base. And I think that is... I don't.
That guy's not going to build a Modern deck right now. So my point is, he was never going to do it. It was a person who was complaining about the format that was never going to play it.
I think that's right.
Maybe.
I complain about Commander. I'm never going to go play it.
It's good for Commander. I mean, I think the reprints, in my opinion, have just moved, or the expensive cards have just moved. So no longer are lands the expensive cards. Now you just have these other cards that are just equally as required if you want to play competitively, but they're no longer the mana base.
But in fairness, Magic's whole, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, value proposition has moved. You can get a $24 fetch land, right? You can get an $18 fetch land. Probably Arid Mesa is probably what, 12 or 13 for a base, but you can also go get a $58 fetch land.
Right. You can get the flash. We're in like this flash area.
But that's the balance. That's the game they're playing, right? So I don't think. Yes, mana bases have gotten more. They've gotten cheaper, but if you want high value cards in your mana base, that's still accessible to you. If that's what matters. And that what is it, Misty Rainforest, that is $58 right now for the most expensive version from MH2 or whatever it is. That's held value for the last 3 years, right, or 2 years now, and it will probably continue to hold value for some time. So I just think the value proposition's changed.
Yeah, and I think the value. I think it's a little bit of both. The value proposition changed, and they've also shifted what they have being the expensive card. I mean, look at like a Shieldred right now, or look at like there's other cards that are
your Bloomborough, like all of your gilded textured foils, right? Not gilded. Sorry, I want gilded foils to be cool. They're so good.
These look better than the gilded ones.
Like they might, and I'm a big fan of gilded foils, but like, I don't think that's because like what is it? Karlov Manor even. I think the expensive foil Diglands from Karlov Manor are holding a pretty penny. I think your mana base, the expensive versions are always going to hold a pretty penny. WotC's playing the balancing act of, hey, we want lands that do cost money. We have examples of that, but also we want people to be able to get these, put these in their decks and play the game. Yeah.
I guess I feel like I think they should just commit to that then. And that there should be fetch lands in precons.
I don't think you need to.
I think we will. I think as we continue to see commander decks go up in value or up in price, I think they're going to have to.
Oh, you could tell me you're up in price. You used the example of Commander Masters, and I would argue that was always going to be an expensive premium set, right? And if they take their big commander release for the year, and there's a fetch land in each of the decks or something like that, you could tell me that story. The story you can't tell me, and that I actually don't want to see, is where your mana base for your standard, your Bloomborough commander decks, are perfect mana. Like, no, those are entry level decks.
Prices on those haven't changed.
Right. And you should upgrade those. You should get a base model. I believe this. I want modern challenger decks, and I don't believe the mana base is modern challenger deck. I want that personally. I don't think it's a good product. I don't think it'll sell well. I just would like it personally. I don't want a perfect mana base in that either. I want room to upgrade and improve.
The problem with a modern challenger deck is
it doesn't work.
Once the meta shifts, it's completely worthless. Nobody wants it.
Right. I just want it because I'm selfish and I like it. It's a bad product.
We need pauper decks. $25 pauper decks.
That's more than a normal pauper deck.
No, it's not. To build a pauper deck, you end up paying all the shipping and stuff. It's like a $60 deck. It's like,
I know. I looked at when we were going to MagicCon.
Yeah,
I put 4 pauper decks in my cart just so we could have like a fun rotation because you were bringing a couple. I was like, this is like a $250 endeavor, like just to get all shipped. I'm not doing that.
Shipping.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's sad. Because if you had, again, we've talked about that a million times on the podcast. But all right, let's go on to Mystery Booster 2. I want to complain about. Yeah, I want to complain a little bit more than we did because the cards look way cooler now.
Wait, you want to complain about this?
Yeah,
this is so good.
I'm more upset now that we're not going to see this at stores.
Oh well, that's always been the problem, right?
Yeah,
we're doing that same song and dance. Let me get my head.
Like, I don't want to harp on that because I know I'm like extremely biased. But like the more I was in the store this week and I heard everybody talking about it, this is like I didn't realize how excited people were for this. Apparently at Gen Con they had a bunch of content creators playing this, and then so like the hype for this has been really, really strong. And then I saw the artwork that I put in the Discord, that Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. The artwork is just so freaking good. Like, it's so cool. This is gonna be one of the more like hyped up things And I think I undershot that last week on the podcast, how excited people were just for this.
Yeah. It's going to be real good.
And that makes it even sadder that like LGSs aren't going to get it. I do hold on to some amount of hope that like we get it in a year. Like once the hype dies, we get it in like a year.
You could tell me where you get, what was it that you got during the pandemic? It was, you got the watered down version, right? The non-convention edition.
Yeah, but now we can order. They like did a huge reprint of the convention edition. So there's convention edition 2021, and then there's convention edition 2023. I think they're the same thing.
I thought they're the same thing, but I thought there's a mystery booster. It's mystery booster, not convention edition, and that's the one that's missing.
That's the retail one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could tell me a story where you get something like that here, right? Where you have mystery booster 2 non-convention edition that is available at your local game store.
Yeah, I'm saying that I want there's the like.
I know what you're saying. You want the full-fledged version. I'm telling you, I think it's more likely you get that.
Yeah. I don't know the difference between the 2019 and the 2021.
It's a massive set, and with it not going to stores, it's kind of hard to track. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think that the research and I know that the research and development cards on one of them don't have the Planeswalker symbol, and that might be the only difference.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, the point is that people are super excited about this. I'm going to buy a bunch of them just to be able to draft in the store. Whenever this goes live.
I'm in when the convention edition comes out. I'm in, I'm going to pick it up. Maybe I'm going to be in line to pick it up, and maybe it'll sell it. Maybe it won't.
This is apparently where all the Wilds of Eldraine and Lost Caverns of Ixalan collector packs went too, which is wild.
It's wild. I struggle because I like the balancing act. We just talked about this, but I like the balancing act of like accessibility, but then also rewarding people who want special things with special things, as long as it doesn't gatekeep anyone. And Magic being the played TCG that it is, that matters, right? You can't give out a functionally unique movie promo for Magic that's legal in some formats, because like we saw this with Secret Lair with The Walking Dead. It took the Commander community and was like, we reject this. We hate, if you play this, we just don't like you, right? Because it was, you could either get your hands on it or couldn't. It felt like gatekeeping in a sense. Right. So it's like, how do you balance this convention edition with like, okay, if it's all going to be legal in Commander, just theoretically, how do we make it so like anyone can get their hands on these cards? That's the hard part.
Which, I mean, makes it, and this is one of the things.
They're functionally unique cards. The reprints and the cool treatments are fine.
And this is one of the things that Secret Lair works for, because not everybody has an LGS.
Who does number 2 work for?
It's easy for me to complain as an LGS owner who has an LGS, and all my people have an LGS who's going to do the right thing and not screw them over and make sure we have product to draft and have fun and whatever.
Right.
But there are people who don't have an LGS within 2 hours of them, and there are people whose LGS would just take the boxes and not sell them or do whatever. We know some LGSs do. So that's where Secret Lair shines, because it becomes a accessible point for everybody, a fair playing field, which is fine. I just wish, and I should also note that the Duskmorn, there's like 100 Duskmorn events for LGSs. The Duskmorn Trick or Treat event, I believe. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. I believe that one, they are giving a collector box or 2 collector boxes for prize support and a mystery booster box. Now, they didn't say mystery booster 2 box, but it would coincide with the release of this, that it could be a mystery booster 2 box, which would be a cool way to get this to LGSs.
They are worried about Duskmorn not doing well.
I'm like really, like they are really pumping Duskmorn.
A little nervous.
Also, I was right. The 2021 is a reprint of the Mystery Booster Convention edition that was given to stores. It is the only difference, according to TCG Player, is the thing in the bottom.
The Planeswalker symbol.
Yeah.
Boom, nailed it. That's why you come to this podcast, for the hard
Yeah, baby.
facts and analysis.
Don't quote me on that fact either. There's also a $40 difference on TCG Player for those two, if you're curious.
That makes sense.
All right. Anyway, Mystery Booster 2. I think the art looks amazing, and that's not the white border. Yeah, I'm sad that it's not going to be like a full-fledged release, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get it in 2 years. Who knows? All right, you ready to move on?
I'm always ready, buddy. I am on TCG Player right now, buying a full playset of all the foil dungeon modules, because we just talked about them, and I realized I don't have one, and now I want one.
You're obsessed.
I buy the dumbest stuff.
I know you're
I buy the dumbest things, but like, listen, this is cool.
All right, let's talk about Sorcery, and we have spoiler season that has officially started. So it is only Wednesday, so there's going to be a couple spoilers we don't share and talk about. So I apologize to those people for not getting to talk about that.
I apologize to absolutely nobody.
I have boxes available. Well, we have like a couple boxes available. We'll see if we have them by Friday. We might be sold out by Friday. We're like, it's slowed down significantly over the last week, but it's still trickling in. I might be sold out of boxes by the time this goes live. So GameGrove.gg if you're looking for Arthurian Legends. Josh, they have changed Sorcery forever.
I heard.
You heard?
I
what
heard.
am I talking about?
The fact that they're changing how minions work.
Wow. You do pay attention. You do
I know
love me.
Sorcery's number something depending on my mood in a given week's content creator.
You do love me. Shout out to
hold on. No.
You do love me. Shout out to Cardboard Guide, who spoiled the first ever dual power toughness difference card in Sorcery. So we have Sir I can't talk to him. Sir Trish. I can't say that word. Can you say Tristan for me?
Tristan?
Yeah. Why can't I say that?
Are you trying to say Tristan?
I turned into George with a lisp.
Sure, Tristan.
Sure, Tristan.
Sean Connery.
I sound like Trump and the.
You were doing the hands earlier too. You were and you were just doing it in natural conversation. I think you're trumping too much.
I'm Italian.
I was born in Italy. We have that in common.
Were you really born in Italy?
Yeah, I was born in Brindisi. It's a small port town in the heel of the boot.
I'm from Sicily, so I'm like the outskirts outside of.
I don't think you are.
I'm not from there originally.
No, okay.
From Ohio, but my Luigi DeGiorgi before it was Louis DeGeorge. Luigi DeGiorgi.
I think most of our viewers just think you and George are one person, and you're Louis the George.
He was from Sicily. All right, Sir Tristan. Did I do that right?
Nailed it.
Okay. 5 cost all 3 of the 4 elements. That's a lot. That's different. Different. So there's a lot of
your commander one day.
A lot of elemental things. Yeah. But it's got 2 power and 4 toughness. So they're adding this thing. Yep. It's different. We'll talk about it in a second. Once during your turn, he may tap target nearby enemy minion. That enemy doesn't untap the next time it would. So it's like a little control
stun counter, baby.
Yeah. So what do you think? Is this a mistake making it more complex like this?
I have to say this. This is not too complex. This is fine. If you are on the camp that this is too complex, get out of the game, sell me your sharks, and calm down. So but this is not. What are we talking about?
So I don't think it's too complex. I do wish they never did the just power 2, and it was always 2 and 2, and now they're introducing the shield thing, because it's just like, I don't know. But can I tell you what I thought it was? So when the card was spoiled, I was not able to watch the videos. I was like working or doing something. I don't remember what I was doing.
That's weird. Is the image we're using on our podcast an image from their video?
Yeah.
So you took someone's breaking news and a screenshot from their video, and now you're making a video about it. Did you give them credit?
I just said who it was. Cardboard Guide.
God, that's why you're so much better than everyone else.
Yeah.
That right there, baby.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Gave them credit.
Listen, they're like the best sorcery content creators. I'm not even I just open packs. What am I? Like, that's all I do. Who needs to see another video of me open packs, right? Like, it's ridiculous.
I had this thought the other day, and I asked my Discord. I've gotten a lot of calluses from lifting. Like, did I ruin my pack opening fame because now I have gross hands?
Oh, look at me. I lift.
No, but like, seriously, I get a lot of comments saying your hands are gross on my box opening videos.
Anybody who watches box opening videos that closely, I don't know. Their opinion.
I literally get told that my hands are. You don't get this?
No, I wash my hands a lot before I do box opening.
Oh, I always wash.
I'm like, don't do dirty hand box openings.
You know what's even crazier? You know and this is not a shot at anyone in particular, but if you open new TCGs with gloves,
oh, that's the worst.
What are we doing?
No, if you open any TCG with gloves, you're doing it wrong.
No, if you open Alpha Magic and you're wearing gloves, it's fine. I'm down.
It damages the card. It's worse for the card. It's been proven.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Then the oils from your hands?
Yeah, the texture of the whatever. I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's been.
That's why I would totally wear surgical gloves if I was opening Alpha Magic.
So
and then I would get excited and
was it Charlie?
Would fly on the card, and it would completely ruin me ever wearing gloves.
Wasn't it Charlie when they were opening that beta deck or something? He just like went right for it.
Neither of us have moist critical money, buddy.
That would be me though. Like if I was gonna open it, like that would be my attitude to do it. I want it like I'm not gonna baby it.
I would 100% be shaking. I'd be calm. I'd be calm, but then it would just be this.
I would just have to just go right in for it though. That's just my personality.
I think you do.
Anyway, when I saw Sir Tristan, when I saw Sir Tristan,
why can't you say Tristan? Tristan.
I don't know. I don't know anybody by that name. I never say that name. It's a weird name. It's a lot of T's.
Anyway,
I thought that the second shield thing was going to be if you had like another mortal next to you, you got increased power. I thought it was going to be like the knights coming together type thing.
In your brain, you made it more complicated. You made it banding.
Way more complicated.
You were like, you know what sorcery needs? Banding.
Yeah, that's essentially what it was, isn't it? But I don't know. I thought that's what it was going to be. But it's not.
It's not.
It's not. So
it's not. You know what? While I was at it, I thought it was saddle.
There you go. All right, the next one is Sealy Court. I can say that. We had already.
Wow, can't do Sir Tristan, but you nailed Sealy Court.
Yeah.
Good for you, dude.
It's not that I don't know how to say it; it's that I can't. My mouth doesn't work.
Wild, buddy.
Yeah. Sealy Court. We had already seen this artwork, but we had not seen the card. Shout out to Contested Cards on YouTube who spoiled this one on purpose. This is at the start of your turn, players draw a spell for each fairy in the realm. Can I tell you, I'm a big fairy fan. I think
there you go.
Fairy Tribal would be kind of cool to play.
Every time we see this card, I wonder the same thing. Why does that knight have seemingly fitted armor?
Yeah.
Like, I've wondered it since we saw this card the first time. That guy is just, he's wearing some skin tight armor, dude.
He's jacked. Maybe it's fake armor because he's
and like the forearms on that knight.
He's jacked.
Wrong. That's wrong.
He looks like what you wish he looked like.
I 100% wish I was not this ugly and was a knight.
I saw a guy at the concert yesterday who was super tall. I said, that guy is Josh size. My wife was like, is Josh really that tall? I was like, yeah. When I'm up next to Josh, I feel short.
Concerts are super awkward because, like, if you're a nice person, you don't want to block. You can always see, but like, you're always set in front of the person who's like 5'5", and you're like, well, you got dealt a losing hand. Like, I don't know what you want. You want uppies? Like,
yeah. Anyway, Sealy Court, 6 mana. 2 threshold for water. It'd be interesting to see if water is super weak right now, Josh. I don't know if you follow the sorcery meta, but water is made fun of quite a bit. So
I don't. Well, why are my sharks so expensive then?
Because you keep buying them. because you are pumping the market and you're going to dump it. You're the worst part of sorcery. You know that?
I am. I pumped the market. Now I'm giving one of them away for free. Is the only sale I've done.
You are part of the problem. Part of the elite that is just making it not affordable for everybody else.
The card that nobody plays that you just said is terrible.
Yeah. Actually, dude, Giant Shark's a great card. Yeah. Of all the cards to spec on, you actually spec on something good.
That wasn't an accident.
You read all the cards.
No, I liked it. It was pretty.
It's a good card. It's super annoying to play against because anytime you move, the shark pops up and attacks.
The Louis DeGeorge of cards.
Yeah, super annoying to play with. God. We're so mean to each other.
That's not true. We're also so nice.
We're so mean to each other.
We're also so nice.
Imagine being upset with that. You know, imagine if we couldn't deal with that each other.
By the way, hold on. I'd like to shout out George. This is the most input that he's had in some time. This is the most valuable he's been on the podcast.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
this episode, he's crushed it.
This is my favorite.
George, good work.
This is my favorite type of George right now.
George, solid, super solid work here.
You know, curiously absent for the sorcery section. You know,
that's because he wasn't invited to the booth hungover, man.
Yeah,
not invited.
They did acknowledge the minion design, though. I want to say this. They said sorcery will continue to focus on simple minion designs, but every so often you'll encounter a minion that makes you pause and take notice of them.
Ooh,
we chose to risk a little complexity here to draw out the stories of the noble and ignoble. I can't say that word either. The noble and ignoble. Ignoble? Am I pronouncing?
There you go. Nailed it.
Yeah, thank you. Knights of the Round Table.
Noble hierarch.
And cement their status within the contested realm. I was going to pronounce cement wrong as a joke, but then I didn't want to accidentally say a bad word.
I want to speak directly to the sorcery team if you're watching.
All right, Simon.
We all know the
Chase, Eric, pay attention. Josh has some. Wait, hold on. I'm going to make you bigger.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
My poor belly. The story that you're diving into, from what I can tell, is that Sir Tristan's got a fat behind and a tiny little friend. That's the depth of story that I'm getting.
And a tiny little friend.
Is that Sir Tristan's carrying around a fatty, dude? What? How are power and toughness? He's just got a donk? Is that the story?
I don't know. I like it, though. Anyway, I think it's cool. I'm more intrigued by the mana costs on some of these things, or the threshold costs. It seems like they are really trying to paint some piles of thresholds, and it'll be interesting for draft. And I don't know. It'll just gonna be interesting to see how that shakes out with sorcery.
Yeah, and minions. Creatures with differing power and toughness. I'm just going creatures, dude. Listen, I'm just a magic guy. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Creatures with differing power and toughness make combat more exciting. Yeah. It's now far more exciting, and I don't think the complexity that we're claiming it adds is even meaningful. This is easy.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's keep it going without George.
Perfect. Star Wars Unlimited time, baby.
Dude. All right, share your stats for Star Wars.
I don't have the screen prepared.
All right, but you know the data.
Everyone who wants to know, though, can go to cardboardfinance.com, and you can support cardboardfinance.com by supporting me and joining the channel membership over at Hometown TCG. Gamer Grove. There, we did it. It has sold. The new Star Wars set has sold roughly a third of the original Star Wars set. Louis, why do you think that is?
Oh, George is back.
I disagree with what you were saying.
Do you want to say
good? Because I was just stating math, so I'm glad that you.
We actually said that that was the best George we've had on the podcast.
This is the best input you've had on this podcast in some time. You're crushing it this episode.
Particularly the sorcery section, you really killed that.
Yeah.
You already know the sorcery section?
We gave everybody in the sorcery community what they wanted, a Georgeless sorcery section.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. Nobody would
also-
possibly want. How boring was it? Did y'all just like fall asleep?
And also, we did talk about the giveaway that you have going on right now for anyone who subs to Louis' channel.
Oh yeah,
I'm in.
George is going to give away $1,000 to anybody who subs to my channel.
What?
Okay, hold on. False fake news.
It's not a giveaway either. It's just
If you click the button.
If you click the button and find George in person,
It's just
he'll
a
give you
payout.
$1,000.
If you find George's YouTube channel, though,
Yes.
that sub is worth
Yes.
$1,000.
I'm in.
All right, Star Wars.
So why?
1/3
Why has the new set fallen off so hard and sold a third of the product of the original set? Why?
lack of marketing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, who is talking about this game? No, we are in a lot of TCG circles. I don't hear anybody talking about this game. Like, they just didn't. I don't know, man. They
Honestly, not the take I thought you were going to go with. So I'm proud of you.
What did you think I was gonna go with?
They didn't print the box.
No.
I don't know. They print. I mean, like, if that was the problem, you'd see boxes at $250. Like, you want to see what happens when they print the box? Come back in October when they print the box.
Oh,
Like,
I think that's already started.
yeah,
And the,
100% it is.
I think it's started and it's trending in one direction.
Shout out to our sponsors, MVP Sports and Games, who has boxes at 110.
There
And
were two reasons this game was never going to work. What were they, you guys?
They didn't print the box.
Nope. Close. I'll give you a hint. The first one's As.
Asmodee and
Second one is
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
So that is
Yeah, I know. This time it's going to be different. I understand that.
I
time they
I
won't
love
screw
that
up.
you're-
Hold on. If in this world, the Star Wars failure arc was 6 months. What was the Metazoo failure arc?
I love that George's thing is to
Years.
take the easiest take and then rub it in everybody's face when he's right.
Of course.
Like you're like the guy that always bets for the overdog.
Do you go into your
Overdog?
warehouse of Metazoo and literally cry before the podcast so that you can feel better?
I got my creditor notice today, so go pound sand, baby.
Do you remember when George called us?
Here's your $7.
Do you remember when he called us and he was gonna buy all that Metazoo from the warehouse? From Metazoo?
Do you remember
And
when
we talked him off of that
I
ledge?
actually said, please don't.
God, we should have
Please do not.
if I could redo one thing in my life, it would be that conversation. Yeah,
No,
man.
baby, go to
That sounds like
Driving with a suspended license, not committing multiple felonies on the way to go watch the pit for his concert. That would be the
You
one.
cannot buy more Metazoo. I cannot take any more packing peanuts in this house.
Yeah, dude,
We're
that
banned.
sounds like a great idea. Buy it all.
You're banned.
Wires the money the next day.
You're
That's like
banned.
150 grand. That would have been fine.
George, you know what? I'm banning you for Metazoo. I'll send you an email later. You're banned.
Okay. Can you please make sure it's really personal and mean?
How did we not
That is-
get banned from Metazoo?
That is the only
I
thing.
didn't know anything was going on. That's why it
There
failed.
was nobody at that. You can't get banned from a company that nobody works at.
That's actually really true. Shout out to Steve Aoki.
All right, so
Like,
I
Star
get it.
Wars died because they had the that's what Fantasy Flight does.
Okay, first
it's what
off,
they
Star Wars
do.
has not died.
It's taken a couple shots across the bow. Okay,
You guys are so over the top.
it's
So up
taken
here.
a couple. All I said was
Bring
taking a
down
couple
here.
shots across the
You guys
bow. It's
to-
not
I need
stinking.
you guys to bring it down a little bit.
The modern battleship can
Star Wars is
carry on.
not dead. They have 9 sets planned and ready to go.
God.
Well, wait, hold on. Whoa. They better not be ready to go because they need to actually print these boxes.
That's not the problem. The problem is nobody
yeah.
wants the boxes.
Yeah, Josh, you're like
No,
I got
people did
more
want
Star
these
Wars
boxes.
this week.
They don't want them anymore. Release has come and gone. The product wasn't available. They don't want them anymore.
Nobody
Spoiler alert,
wants this
people
card
want
game
TCG
anymore.
boxes on release.
set
That's not.
2, set 2 was wildly available. Like
It was not.
It was on Amazon.
Set
it was
two
on
was
Well
Amazon.
after release. Well after release.
After release. A week after
Magic
release.
Tricks were on Amazon well after release. Why didn't they
Josh,
do well?
You're making me do my least favorite thing in the world, and that is side with George on anything.
No, they needed to print this box.
I've had boxes on my shelf since day one at MSRP.
I'm sorry that you're bad
Everything.
at marketing. Like, what do you want from me?
No, this game is over.
This game is also not over.
Mario.
This game is also not over. But there's a middle ground.
MetaZoo's not over.
There's a middle ground here, fellas. And that is that
You're boring. What?
they missed the opportunity to be a top board game 100%. They missed that.
I agree with you. They missed the opportunity to be a top board game by producing a TCG. I totally agree with you.
I said a top 4 game, not board game. They are.
There was no world in which they were going to be a top 4 TCG.
Oh, I think there could have been.
It could have been.
They could have been.
Who's number 4?
What in the fantasy are you two morons talking about?
This game totally could have.
It could have been.
Could have. Yep. And that was 100% their intention.
And George, I think it's part of your tradition needs to be I jump on this could be a top 4 game boat. Like you need to be in this boat with us, buddy.
So
This is the dumbest boat I've ever seen.
That's not true. That's not true.
On release of their first set, they had the hype and the excitement in the industry to compete with Lorcana, and they have completely dropped that ball.
Okay, hold on. Whoa.
They
didn't
had.
have that much hype and excitement.
They did.
Hold on. Not that much. Not that much.
They did.
Not that much.
They did.
Listen, I asked a friend. My friend told me, didn't you tell me? He told me it was going to compete with Lorcana. I knew it all along. We were going to overtake them. They don't even have any players. We have all the players, right? We're at the Lorcana rally. Players at the rally.
What are you doing? Baby, turn around.
No, now they don't. There's no shot because they dropped the ball.
There was never a shot.
This is the coolest Venn diagram of conversation that's ever happened on this podcast because you're so wrong on this. What?
Yeah, they had the IP. They had the
They did have IP.
companies.
They
Big
did have
companies
art.
behind them.
What companies did they have? They had Fantasy Flight and Asmodee.
Asmodee's a massive distributor.
Name me a
massive-
major TCG that they are the primary distributor of. Name me one.
Altered? No.
It could be a top 4 TCG. You don't know. You don't know.
My point is that was their goal with it. That was their
I'm not
desire.
saying that wasn't their goal. I'm saying that's a dumb goal to have, and they were never close.
We knew other games whose goal was to take down Magic. Okay, it's a dumb goal. It's their goal. It's a dumb goal.
Saying they were never close is maybe accurate.
It's correct.
What?
The distance is certainly huge now. But they didn't do the things that they were going to do.
They were never going to do them.
Buddy, I'm the Star Wars fan. What are you doing? What is happening?
So
right
you don't
now?
think they could have been a top 4 TCG then, Josh?
I think they could have been a top 4 TCG.
So who are they competing with? Who are they
Yu-Gi-Oh.
competing?
Magic, Pokemon, Lorcana. They could have knocked Yu-Gi-Oh off. They're not coming for Lorcana. We would have been looking at a Grand Canyon-sized gap.
You and I have very different opinions of where Yu-Gi-Oh and Lorcana stand in that like world.
I like how it's very different in that they're one off from each other. But you nailed it, Louis.
Yeah, but he's saying that it would be easy to knock off Yu-Gi-Oh.
It would be impossible for them to knock off either. No, there was a bubble for this game. The bubble has burst. That is all this was.
So,
it was a hype-filled bubble that lasted exactly about as long as everybody knew a Fantasy Flight bubble would last. Uh-oh!
To compare the D23 set to the Gen Con Star Wars set.
One was actually produced and has sets available. One was produced 100 a day.
That's a terrible analogy, Josh.
No, let me have this.
No, I'm not.
Let me have this.
Not letting you have this.
$400. I actually think I'm buying a couple of the D23s online.
Yeah, me too.
That's a good buy.
Like, Louis, this was never gonna. This was a bubble.
Maybe top 4 is wrong.
It could have been top 9.
But they
It could have been top 9.
Lorcana.
I don't know, man.
Let's go to top. Let's see what's on TCG Player. Let's see the.
That's not how that order works.
Magic,
either,
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon,
Just so you know.
Lorcana, One Piece. Not gonna be as big as One Piece.
Oh shoot, One Piece.
You could have tackled Digimon.
So hold
You could have been Digimon, or there's also that other game I don't talk about. You could have maybe competed with that game.
They could have competed with Lorcana, but when he said One Piece, you're like, oh no, they were never going to get there. What?
Wait, Louis, do you think One Piece is bigger than Lorcana?
No, but I think One Piece is in the running for games that could be in the top 4 at some point in its lineup. You disagree with that?
Are you saying you didn't do drugs? I know we were joking about drugs earlier this podcast. I went away.
It's
I
hard.
did do drugs in between those two things, Louis.
It's hard because I have no clue how big Yu-Gi-Oh is. Like, I don't know where Yu-Gi-Oh fits in this whole.
I
gotta understand the Japan market.
Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Lorcana, One Piece. So, like, Louis, it could have been the 6th biggest TCG.
That's not how that list works either.
I'm just going an order of TCG Player.
Yeah, that's not how that order works.
Yeah, but that doesn't make. That's not how.
I'm not saying that's the order of the size of those 5.
My point is that there are months of which One Piece sells more boxes than Lorcana on TCG Player. There are like when a new release comes out, when it's
released for one and not for the other, it sells more.
Right,
you nailed it.
I'm saying
nailed it.
That's where that conversation.
Welcome to May the Zoo be with you.
Star Wars could have been one of those games that's vying for positions on top charts every month.
But like
now they will not be. They won't be because
we're never going to be. It was a bubble.
I don't think you can evaluate like every release when you have a community. The release on an online platform is going to go fairly well, unless your game truly is dead. Let's say you got like 15,000 players, you're not selling a ton of boxes, right? But every other realistic game is going to sell a bunch of boxes on release. The magic is, does that continue? And when you butcher your release, we've seen this with other games. You butcher the release of the product, it doesn't go well.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars singles sell so quickly. It's wild.
This is the evolution of us.
God.
I want to say, because I want to agree with you, but I also recognize that when we are rooting for a TCG that is not as big as it could have been or as that we want it to, our next step is always, well, the singles, man, they fly.
Now, the next step is the EV for the box is enormous.
The EV
is great. It's a really great EV.
Louis, I want to agree with you.
Unfortunately, the Star Wars EV is rather low.
It's also upside down.
It's also upside down on current box pricing. So yeah, it's not great. Also, I opened 30 boxes and got no showcases, so I'm not super thrilled.
I opened 2 boxes and got a showcase. So shout out to you, Bob Iger,
yourself. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Clean.
I agree that they suck. I disagree at when they started sucking.
Because it was a bubble.
I also hate that you just take the easiest way out every time, and then you rub it in our face when you're right. Like
you guys were so.
If you were right about TCGs as infrequently as George, wouldn't you do the same?
I guess so. If I had said Mon to 1K to everybody for 2 years,
you gotta hold on to a win. You don't get a lot of wins. You gotta hold on to them.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what those words mean. I'm sorry.
If I had pumped MetaZoo 2 years after MetaZoo was obviously a scam, I would also feel that way.
MetaZoo, maybe not the best take. I got Lorcana right. You got Lorcana wrong.
Okay. I was going to say we all got Lorcana right, but I forgot there was a
2/3 of us got Lorcana right. The other was Louis.
Don't you?
He's kind of got
the other was Louis.
I said word for word. I don't understand why we are. Let's move on to Lorcana. I don't understand why we. This is the PEEPEES, by the way, everybody.
Shocking.
The PEEPEES are Pixar and was it
Parks? You nailed it. You did great.
Pixar and Parks. Shout out to Donald for giving us the PEEPEES, by the way.
Big shout out to Donnie.
The biggest PEEPEE.
Biggest PEEPEEs. I asked my friend. He told me everything about the PEEPEEs.
I asked my friend. He said, you got to talk about the PEEPEEs. What were we talking about? Oh, my thing when we had the Lorcana bets.
Yeah.
I said I don't see Lorcana and Sorcery as the same game.
That is
Let me
one
finish.
thing you said.
Let
That is
me
one thing you
finish.
said.
Let me
I don't
finish.
see two different
You
games as the
hairless,
same game.
shaved lunatic. Let me finish. I said I don't see these two games as competing for the same thing. I said Lorcana has to be a top 4 TCG to be successful. Sorcery doesn't need to worry about that. They can be a boutique indie TCG forever.
I forgot
Wait, we're
the
bringing
boutique
back
thing.
boutique? I
Oh,
thought
yes,
we retired
God.
that.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about the boutique thing.
I said
Oh.
that's what I said. I said
Oh.
I thought we
Lorcana
retired
has
this.
to be a massive success to do that. And I also said,
Uh-huh.
hold on.
Uh-huh.
I said in order to do that, they will have to work really closely with Disney, and I'm not confident that Disney. Hold on, don't you interrupt me. I'm about to get to the PEEPEES. I also said that Disney would have to be interactive with it. I said I'm not confident that they're there. I'm not confident that Ravensburger can handle it. But they've done everything that I said they need to do, and here we are with the PEEPEES. They are in the parks, they are in the Pixar, and I will say for the 400th time on this podcast, I was wrong, and Lorcana got it right, and they're doing great.
I think you just spent the last 10 minutes justifying why when we just said you were wrong.
No, I
you
was
weren't.
wrong about like taking the side that Lorcana was not going to get those things done.
We could have got here so much faster.
But then we would have missed a Louis rant, and those were always so good.
Making me you keep rubbing my nose in things that I've already accepted.
Well, now you're going to end up with Parvo again. What do you want?
Parvo 2.0 electric boogaloo.
You're so much better than that.
It's Parvo 2.0. It's just
Oh my
as many
God, Parvo
boxes.
3.0. Same number of pitches, new number attack.
I'll add another P.
Yes, the triple P's.
Now it's PPPs.
What does this podcast evolve into?
The third P is Parvo.
Parvo. It's Parvo.
All right.
Parks, Pixar, and Parvo.
Parks, Pixar, and Parvo. That's the name of the podcast.
And that would be the best Lorcana set ever.
Parks.
God, if they had a Louis card that was also a dog.
Oh my God. Sorcery. Get on this.
Hold on, wait. Who's an altar artist?
I don't even remember that. Like, I don't remember how I was sick with that. I don't
remember either.
You are just constantly in the plague.
Yeah,
it's fair.
It's like amazing how sick you constantly are.
Your house was a pirate ship for so long. I'm surprised you didn't catch scurvy.
Yeah. For 2 years, I was flooding. Man, we've really been through it on the podcast, haven't we?
Great.
Not me, baby. It's all up for me.
Speaking of PPs. All right. Sorry. That was too good.
That was good.
That was too good. George, how do you not laugh at that? That was funny.
That's pretty good.
That was good. All right. Ravensburger has obtained the license to add Pixar properties, PP, to Disney Lorcana coming in 2026. Thank you, Donald, for putting that in our Discord server. That's all I know about it. Does anybody have any other?
I mean, like, I think it's big. Pixar's huge.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be massive. This is going to be big.
So here you go, Louis. Let's give you another shot.
Toy Story, right?
Toy Story, Cars,
Monsters Inc.
Yep.
Oh, to Monsters Inc.
So here's your opportunity.
Did you guess Ant Cars, by the way?
Cars is lame.
What?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that movie.
You're not great. You're just not great.
I love how you're like, Star Wars has the great IP. They could have been a top 4 TCG.
Hold on, Star Wars is a better IP than just Cars. Like, clearly.
Yeah, but like,
Wait,
not much better.
am I not allowed to just not like Cars?
Magnitudes.
Huh. I didn't realize there was such a Cars.
You missed the last Lorcana softball take with, Lorcana's going to be big. So here's your take. Ready? Let's softball this in. Is them adding Pixar a good thing?
All my people told me this is great. This is the best thing that's ever happened to the
I don't care what voice you do it in. As long
Finding
as
Nemo, Incredibles, Elemental.
Finding Nemo, I've heard, is the greatest movie ever other than Cars.
I love Finding Nemo. My daughter just got into Finding Nemo.
You not like Finding Nemo, Louis?
So, Finding Nemo I can do. Finding Nemo I like. Cars, I think I missed it. How old were you guys when Cars came out? I feel like I was like in high school when Cars came out.
Yeah, I have a lot of younger siblings though.
Oh, I have no younger siblings.
No, I got all. I'm the oldest. I got all younger siblings.
I didn't watch Cars until my kids have watched it on Disney Plus, but we don't pay for that anymore.
You know the only thing.
Yeah, Disney Plus they upped the price, so now we just share it with somebody.
No, my divvy.
Oh, we share it with lots of people.
Yeah,
my divvy.
Yeah, and honestly, I thought about that, and I said that makes it even better. George makes less money off of it. I'm happy.
What's the theme song to the first Cars? It's a really popular song.
Oh.
It's not a Cars specific song. It was like an old 80s rock song that they repurposed. My only problem with Cars, when I play Disney radio for my daughter, I'm singing Lion King, we got Aladdin going, then that song pops up on Disney radio. That pisses me off.
Did y'all see Bob Iger announce the Lion King world at Disney Paris?
I saw it announced like 100.
Bob Iger. Are they removing the Muppet Theater? Is that true, George?
It's unclear, but it looks like it's possibly
If that happens, sell it all.
Where were you a couple months ago?
Sell it all.
So hold my back like it's a certain indie TCG. I need a Disney collector week up in this piece. You can find out about. Where were you? I needed you.
What the hell?
All right. Well, there it is. Sometimes we're a little too on the nose. That was one of the times.
Welcome to May the Zippy with you with George. This is what y'all missed during the sorcery section. Oh, I love sorcery. Me too, Josh. It does everything great. I love everybody.
I'm crying.
Gotta have somebody in this podcast keep it real.
Okay, so
I'm not.
Back to Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is great. I just feel like once you saw it the first time, it's like, I don't know, it's too sad. Like, I don't want to be that sad again.
I will say that, like, that's the one thing about the Disney movies. Some of them were kind of sad.
Like, Toy Story is too sad. Toy Story 4, that movie wrecks me. That movie, I'm in tears every time I watch that movie.
Yeah,
it's like Lion King. Like, I mean, like, I can't, like, I like the Lion King thing is hard.
Yeah. There's some scenes in both that and Aladdin. My daughter's been really into them. That they're very aggressive and scary.
Aladdin, Aladdin
there's some scary scenes.
Aladdin's so good.
Aladdin is so good.
When I watched Aladdin, it made me want to collect
Steal some bread.
Arabian Nights magic. I was like, I'm gonna go get a full set of Arabian Nights.
One jump out of the bread line, one swing.
Okay, so they're gonna have Lorcana. That's great.
Only
Pixar, you nailed it.
Here's the bigger thing. I think the second thing is actually bigger. That one I kind of anticipated would happen.
Wait.
No, like
Wait.
Less surprising.
Fine.
Okay, that's fair.
Like I kind of just when it was Lorcana, I was like, that seems like
totally. Pixar was next.
Yeah.
Now the next question is when do they get Star Wars? That'll be after this. Your game dies.
Never. Star Wars is limited for life.
Definitely not.
Gonna be one of the top 4. Still got a shot.
4. God, Louie, that take. That's the worst take you've had, and I've seen you do some takes, buddy.
That is not true. I've got a shelf here of worse takes.
The thing that I think is actually bigger is them having, and it depends on how big they go with this, but at the parks, they're going to have textless versions of the cards to get signed by the characters. Events held at Disney parks where participants are given textless versions of cards to be signed by the characters. Thanks again, Donald. That is...
You know what? Screw it. Donald, sponsor this part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Him and Cardio.
Donald shops at GameGrove.gg, everybody.
GameGrove.gg.
I already did it while you were gone.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, you trying to sneak in a Game Grove without me here so I couldn't mention the middle name?
Josh was pumping his channel. Josh had a giant PP on the channel. He was pumping it.
Wait, PP was massive.
Wait, what?
Josh was trying to get more channel members.
Oh, where can they sign up for that, Josh?
We already did it. You're late.
Josh'sPP.com.
Probably don't go to that website. Probably don't go to that website.
Do you remember when we almost got George to go to Penn Island?
It would have been so good.
Penn Island?
That was the single greatest moment of my life.
When you said it and he started typing, I was like, "There's no way."
We were one enter button away.
100% true. 100% true.
Do you think you get banned from the reflection in the glasses?
No, I think I end the podcast because how does it get better than that?
Wait, hold on.
Take a couple for the team, George.
Them giving out Lorcana cards to people at events in a mass, like what I hope about these is that these are completely free, worthless cards, and like if they like this is the type of thing that can really propel. Let me just say it. Lorcana to top 4 TCGs permanently. I was just trying to piss George off.
We're done with the softball takes.
He's still texting. I'm just trying to piss
who do you
him
think
off.
is not top? Who do you think is close to the top 4
It
right
was
now?
a joke. It was just a joke.
Chill, George, you're getting defensive about Lorcana like Louis is about sorcery now.
Impossible.
It's just
I could have a bunch of friends attack me for it.
it's just a joke.
I'm gonna have a bunch of friends attack Louis for his Lorcana takes.
The difference between
Donald
those people and you is that you don't have friends.
Boom! Nailed it.
Hurts because it's true. Josh Down, my best friend.
Can I tell you a hot take on this?
No.
My friend?
You can tell us a hot take. It has to start with a P, otherwise it doesn't count.
Pointless.
This is pointless?
Characters signing cards is like when the Planeswalker signed cards came out. I hate this.
No, that's opposite. You don't know this? To be a
I know this. You have to get the signature of the character right. Still pointless. It's a person in a costume. So pointless.
Well, that's the magic. That's the magic I come here for. Things, Josh.
God, your poor children, man. God.
So pointless. Why are people in costumes signing these things as Mickey Mouse?
What do you want to sign as a character? Like the person inside the costume?
Artist sign cards I get.
That is an
Fictional artist sign cards are great because you can pump up the numbers and the sales. I'm with you, Josh.
Lightning Queen doesn't exist.
That is
the dumbest thing ever.
That is an awful take.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
That is a heartless and awful take.
I have a better idea than Josh's horrible take. We should start a Facebook group that only sells these signature cards.
Sure.
I'll sign them.
That will 100% be a thing.
I'll sign them. I'll put on Mickey Mouse ears. I'll sign them.
Great.
You think sorcery has pump and dump things? The Lorcana community is full of that, dude.
Oh, for sure.
That's not true.
Buddy.
There's like that one guy owns like 90 sets of D30. D20, whatever it is.
Love it. Nailed it. You did great. Shows your knowledge of the topic all in one sentence. You nailed it.
He like in the Discord server bragging how many sets he has.
There was the one guy that's like, oh, I bought a bunch of these. What am I guess I have extras if you want them. I was going to keep them all. It's like, no, you bought them to flip.
Yeah.
Stop.
Anyway,
I think the D23 to the buy right now.
If this turns into something where these are just handed out to kids and they can actually enjoy them, that is so good for Lorcana. Like that is such a good thing. Assuming they have a Lorcana back on them, but
that's why we do it. That's how we do it, Gokana. Not surprising.
I'll tell you what, that is one of the biggest things that Lorcana has that Pokemon doesn't is the theme parks.
Of course.
Like that, and that was one of those things I said. If they are in the theme parks, if they're on Disney Plus, that's a massive, massive, massive win.
It's not. I mean, that's big. It also has players, like so that helps.
It's true.
Yeah. The championship events have been really good.
Yeah,
Gokana's so cool. That's why they call it Gokana.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Glad we can all agree on that. It took us the PEEPEES to get on the same page.
PEEPEES bring everybody together.
Page. It's another P.
The fourth P. All right, everyone.
The fourth P. Pixar, Parks, Parvo, and Page.
Pointless was in there somewhere.
I think the title should be "May the Peas Be With You."
No, it has to be Pixar. I don't know. We had a great one. What the fuck was it?
Pixar, Parks, Parvo.
Parvo.
I don't think I can put that.
Wait, can you make the thumbnail just that meme?
Yes, get I sign on here.
All right, everybody. Ice9, if you still listen to this podcast, shout out to you.
Yeah.
I don't think
The
you
GOAT.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching and listening. Go subscribe to Josh's channel. Make sure you join his channel membership. Go subscribe to Kitchen Table TCG. Go to KitchenTableTCG.com to hop into the Discord server. And if you can find George's channel and you subscribe to it, you get $1,000 in pure cash gold.
Pure cash gold
Yeah.
from Zimbabwe.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Be kind to the people around you.
Thank you, Video, for sponsoring the podcast. Nailed it.
And also with you.
Cardi.